Hi guys! Today we are doing a reaction video of sorts, but with a bit of educational purpose to it. We are going to watch our fellow riders crash a few bikes and discuss how they could prevent it. You know, smart people learn from others' mistakes and such. Let's go!
Today we will start with the rider.
Oh, twisty roads. I think I already see where this is going.
The rider in the front who probably lost control of his bike by scraping the kickstand quite strongly against the asphalt.
Exactly my reaction. Okay, let's see what happened here. It's one of the most common types of crash in corners. Dude ran out of lean angle, started scraping something, likely his foot peg to frame mounting points, and low-sided. First thing this guy could do differently here to save the situation is to lean his body more into the turn. This would bring the bike a little bit more upright, which might have been enough to keep his bike on the road. But more important mistake here is when he starts to accelerate. Look closely. Here he slows down, and now he goes off the brakes and starts accelerating. And at the same moment he tries to lean his bike even more. This is major mistake. Generally, we never want to accelerate and lean more at the same time. What we want to do is to wait until we see the exit and only then start accelerating. And as we roll on the throttle, we allow our bike to gradually stand up. If we open our throttle and force our bike to lean more at the same time, we end up just like this guy, digging our bike out of a ditch. Such a dramatic slow-mo. Let's rewind it a little. What did he say? What are you doing? No, I'm sorry, mate. It's what are you doing? Because you sure look like you have no clue what's going on. And of course you're on a sport bike. Okay, jokes aside, let's unfold what happened here. Truck here indicates that he wants to go into the right lane, which makes sense since it's a truck and they generally don't linger in the left lane for too long because they are slow vehicles. He clearly doesn't see our rider, which, don't get me wrong, it's the truck driver's fault, but I can't really blame him too much. Bikes in general are pretty hard to notice in mirrors because they are pretty narrow and small. We are like vampires. We can't be seen in mirrors. It sucks, but it is something we should be used to. So, the truck tries to merge into the right lane, finally notices our rider and swerves back into the left lane to make way. But our hero here doesn't understand what's going on. Now, he tries to overtake the truck from the left side. Once his front wheel hits the curb, it's game over. Because you can't hit the curb at this shallow angle. It has to be at least 45 degrees. Now, what we should do in this situation is instead of rev bombing like an idiot, we can simply slow down. Then the truck either merges into the right lane here and we can then overtake from the left lane, or he sees us in the mirror, returns to the left lane and then we overtake from the right. All we have to do is to slow down and wait for a few seconds to see how the situation unfolds. Brake first, ask questions later. And even here, if this guy just knew how to brake properly, he could have just slowed down. There was literally no need to crash. It was 100% avoidable accident at every stage. It's not even an accident when he rides like that, it's more like a destiny.
Completely no sign warned this rider of the approaching intersection. However, this didn't prevent him from reacting appropriately.
Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, is actually an example of very decent rider. Look, he was going at appropriate speed. He was actually ready to slow down, which he did. I think there is ABS kicking in here, but otherwise, very good job. Notice how he went straight to braking without usual shit like rev bombing or honking, straight to braking. And then he just goes straight back to riding. He don't start to flip people off or cry like, "Oh, you almost killed me!" No, straight back on the road. He's got the situation under control. Very good job. Another good job. Is this the same guy? Yeah, it's the same Yamaha guy. Look, another example of perfect riding. Entering from outside for better visibility, cornering and comfort speed. As soon as he sees the car, he goes straight to braking. And again, no drama, no road rage, nothing. Straight back to riding. Mr. MT10 Addiction deserves nothing but a round of applause. Very nice! Oh wait, I think I've already seen this video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
seen
me.
Well, it just shows you that there is an inherent risk of riding a bike. Not everything depends on us. In this particular situation, arguably, the rider could have waited till the end of this yellow line here, but really, this battery simply could have been lying 100 meters down the road. So, this is not really the rider's fault. It's just a case of bad luck, unfortunately. Well, not bad luck, it's fuck up from a moron who lost his battery in the middle of an interstate, but you know what I mean. There is no realistic chance of avoiding this type of accident.
It's good to learn from the mistakes made by other riders, and here we have a good example how dangerous gravel is on the road.
Yeah, gravel and lack of brain cells, both, pal. And in this case, gravel is less to blame. Okay, I'm just joking. I think it's just a case of being a new rider. First, let's listen. He's braking, but at the same time he seems to hold the throttle open. That's not what we should do. When we are braking, our throttle should be completely closed. Then, when braking like this, especially on bikes without ABS, which is most certainly the case here, it is better not to apply the clutch. You lose all the engine braking, and then you have to release the clutch again mid-turn at some point, which increases the chance of slipping the rear tire and laying it down. And which is the most important factor here, his bike simply points the wrong way here. He should have just turned normally on the asphalt part. There was no need to go this wide. I doubt he is purposely aiming at the gravel here. I think he just couldn't slow down enough to make the turn, but he decided to turn anyway. That's why I think it's a new rider who just doesn't know how to brake properly. Learn how to brake. It's very useful skill. Oh, lane splitting. Is it in Russia? No, it's clearly somewhere in Europe. These are Union plates. That was close. That was awfully close. Okay, that's why lane splitting is widely considered dangerous. It's because of such people. First of all, look at the speed. Speed limit is 90, everyone is going 100, 110, and he is doing 130. Little bit of speeding can be excused as long as you know what you are doing, which doesn't seem to be the case here. When we are riding on fast multi-lane interstate like this, especially when everyone is speeding and super especially when we are lane splitting, we must look really far down the road to have enough time for reaction. Here, even in this crappy grainy video, we can see how everyone ahead is already braking. In real life, with our eyes, we can see it even earlier. Yet this rider here starts his braking way too late, when the whole left lane is pretty much stopped. Then yes, he managed to swerve at the very last moment. At least he knows how to do that, so 10 points to the Gryffindor here. But otherwise, not nice. When lane splitting, don't just look at the gaps right in front of you, look further ahead, at the traffic. And when not lane splitting, it also applies. Look at all those emotions! Wow! Compare him to that Yamaha guy. It's a classic, super common situation. Car driver doesn't see the rider and tries to merge right into him. This was easily predictable. Left lane goes a bit faster and this guy here simply wants to overtake this SUV. So instead of honking and screaming, how about, using your brakes? Don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming the rider here, it's clearly the driver's fault, but all I'm saying is that a good rider should assume such behavior from other drivers. It is very common. We can either speed up and go here, if the path is clear, or we should be ready to brake if we see this guy merging into our lane. This situation is really common. It is not worth all this vocal drama here. Well, at least he went a bit left and didn't try to stand the ground on the bike against the car. Yeah. Who would have thought? Again, a super common situation. I like what conclusion this rider made out of his experience. He thinks Civic here purposefully didn't want him to let through. Dude, look at your own video and try to use your noggin. When have you been able to see this car for the first time? About here, right? Now, do you think this Civic guy is so awesome that he spotted you in his mirrors through all those cars and purposefully jumped into the right lane just to stop you? Of course not. It's just what you get for overtaking traffic on the right shoulder. People simply don't think that someone can be there. They just assume this is the left lane, this is the right lane. There are no more lanes to the right, therefore nobody can be there. So they will merge into you, turn right in front of you, and passengers will open right doors into you in still traffic. This is all you get for riding on the right shoulder. So, proceed on your own risk. Nobody is expecting you there. These situations are pretty good topics to discuss. If I missed something or you think you would have handled any of those situations differently, the comment section is all yours. As usual, if you like this channel and want YouTube to show it to you more, put a like, hit the subscribe button and send this video to anyone who might find it useful. And check out our courses for bikers, which are available both for beginners and for more experienced riders. And remember that soon we start a big 2-month advanced riding course, which you definitely don't want to miss. Check out the link in the description. Thank you for watching, ride safe and have a great day! Bye.